Hello, my beautiful movie peeps. It is a wonderful day to talk some movie news, so let's do just that. Some of the things we're going to be discussing here today, guys, is it looks like the internet has finally decided who the final Fantastic Four casting people are. Not Kevin Feige or Marvel, the internet has decided for them. We got an update concerning the DCU Batman Brave and the Bold movie that has me excited, along with our first set photos and videos of the Pennywise prequel, Welcome to Derry. Really, that along with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave your opinions down below. Timestamps will be in the description. So one of the first things I want to jump into here today is an upcoming Will Ferrell movie that I think sounds like a lot of fun. Deadline here has it reported that Will Ferrell circling John Madden role in Amazon/MGM's Madden with David O. Russell on board to direct the dish. And essentially what the article details here is if you know of the popular football game Madden, we are going to be getting the biopic story concerning the man who kind of brought that game to life, John Madden, who will be played by Will Ferrell. And let me tell you right now, I was today years old when I found out the game Madden was named after an actual person, and there's a whole story behind it. Being also how this is sports related and Will Ferrell loves to dip his toes in sports related movies, I'm still waiting for this esports movie that he's said to be a part of, just because he's like going down the roster of making a sports movie on every sport out there. This looks like it would fill in his gap of a football movie, and this would be perfect to me. And that's coming from someone who doesn't even play a lot of Madden. I think the only time I played Madden in my life is when I got invited to the cool kids party because one of my friends knew the friend and I got in and we were just playing Madden the whole time eating pizza. I was like, this is kind of fun, but I don't know how they make this game every year. Same like FIFA. It's probably lost a whole bunch of subscribers right there just by saying that. But maybe it's because this year we've been bombarded with biographical pics on famous items like the Nike shoe Air Jordan or the Blackberry movie or the Tetris movie. We're about to get the Flamin' Hot Cheetos movie. I kind of am a sucker for these movies based on how real products or things were made. So I think I'm definitely interested in this movie when it comes out, but for you more Madden heavy fans, would you like Will Ferrell to play the titular character, showing you how that video game was created? Something else that kind of caught me off guard and showed up out of nowhere on the internet, while we're waiting for Insidious the Red Door, Insidious 5, to come out this year, we already have casting and plot details with Insidious 6. Thanks to Critical Overlord and Geek5 Nation here for writing up an article. There was a call sheet letting actors know to audition for a role in this movie that kind of spilled the tea on who's part of it and what it's going to be about. So as of right now, the movie is being titled Thread, an Insidious Tale, and it's set to star Mandy Moore and Kumani Nanjiel. I think both these actors are great, and having them in a movie would definitely get me excited. The plot synopsis for the movie currently goes as the film follows a grieving couple, Nick Nanjiani and Maddie Moore, who have recently lost their daughter Zoe. With the help of a mysterious stranger, the couple finds themselves journeying into a terrifying supernatural realm known as the Further in an attempt to change the past and save their family. So a couple of things on that. For one, you would think maybe Insidious 6 would deal with the aftermath of whatever Red Door is about to bring us. But it looks like no, instead they're going to go in a different direction. Heck, this might be a spin-off in the Insidious universe. It kind of feels that way with the title. But I kind of would be fine if Red Door turns out to be the ending chapter of those first two movies. That way it kind of gives us a nice little trilogy. And expanding further on that, I love the sound of this plot. I completely forgot in Insidious 2, they deal basically with time travel. This realm they get to go into and explore allowed them to also go into the past. And when you have a device like that, it makes you wonder, well, can somebody abuse this realm? Can somebody go in, travel to the past, change something, and then fix their future? Looks like they're going to be trying to do that with saving their daughter. And I'm sure that's going to have some insidious consequences. Oh, we back, boys. I think it's just kind of funny that this information was leaked out early. It looks like maybe Blumhouse is wanting to crank out an Insidious movie every year, sort of like Saw did for like 6-7 years straight. These are also cheap PG-13 horror movies, so they make their money back quick. I'm open to this idea. This could be a lot of fun. I throw it off to you guys. You hear this premise and the casting for Insidious 6. Would you give it a thumbs up? Would you give it a thumbs down? What do you think? Something else that caught my attention that happened a little bit a while ago, but I want to talk about it now, is it looks like we got a minor update on the Terminator franchise because James Cameron here was doing an interview at Dell Tech World, and I guess in this interview where he was talking about technological advancements in film, he also brought up the Terminator franchise, specifically saying that 3 months ago he started writing a new Terminator movie, but had stopped to see how AI advances in our real world. This kind of goes along with some of the comments he's made before about the Terminator franchise. Back in December of last year, he said this: "If I were to do another Terminator film and maybe try to launch that franchise again, which is in discussion, but nothing has been decided, I would make it much more about the AI side of it, then Bad Robot's gone crazy." Now look, I'm a big Terminator fan, okay? I've stuck with the franchise for so long. My favorite Terminator films are mainly those first three, more those first two, but I really do like those first three movies. I've always semi-enjoyed every installment, from Salvation, Dark Fate, to even, what was that, Genesis? There's always something to be admired in those movies, but they definitely feel like they're lacking, or like they're trying too hard to be like the action-packed Terminator, when I think you need to go back to the scary side of Terminator, make it feel like a horror movie, almost like that first movie. And I mean, even recently, Arnold Schwarzenegger has come out and said that like he's done with Terminator franchise. If they make another movie, he does not want or even feel like he needs to be part of it. And I agree with him. As much as I love Arnie in those movies, I don't think I need him again. I don't need you explaining to me why a Terminator can look old. If anything, I would want them to stop trying to connect to those first two movies and just start from plain scratch. And the idea here of focusing in on AI, yeah, that could go really well. I like me, the bad robots that come back in time, the traveling from the future and the past. I hope that's still part of it, but the AI side of it definitely is scary. I mean, it's getting scary every day. Every time on the internet scrolling, there's a new AI thing out there, and I'm thinking one day there might be an AI 3C just doing my job. So it could be fascinating what he comes up with. I mean, James Cameron has produced the best Terminator movies, so I think he knows what he's doing here. No way he can create something as bad as what we've seen in maybe these other sequels. But I toss it off to you guys. You hear James Cameron is thinking about making a new Terminator movie focusing on the AI side of things. You think that's the right direction to go in, or do you think, nah, I don't want to see that? Moving on to kind of the DC side of things, we recently had Andy Muschietti, the director of The Flash, get questioned about the upcoming Batman Brave and the Bold movie. Now, there's been a lot of rumors surrounding this movie because it's said that Andy Muschietti might have been offered the role of directing the film. We've been hearing for months nonstop that The Flash is a fantastic movie, and I have actually already seen it. I'm just waiting to post my review online, but there's still an embargo for some reason, even though the CinemaCon people saw it and they got to review it. Why can't I put out my review, Warner Brothers? But hopefully very soon. I'm thinking this week I'm allowed to post it, and I can't wait to tell you what I thought of that movie. But when an interviewer asked him about the rumors if he would be, directing a solo Batman movie in the DCU for James Gunn, this is how he kind of responded.
Well, Andy, I want to ask you, you inherited two Batmen here too. You've got Tim Burton's Batman, you've got Zack Snyder's Batman. And I'm curious, if you were to take your own Batman in a brave and bold direction, what would you want to put on? What kind of spin would you want to put on that character?
Oh, that's, I don't think I can talk to that yet.
Oh, that lets me know he's definitely in conversations. He's definitely been offered it, and I think the man is going to direct it. Again, not giving too much away about my thoughts on The Flash, but I'll just say Andy Muschietti's Batman stuff, both with Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, some of the best parts of the movie, man. I think he has a real eye for how to direct Batman. And you also have to think that was him taking on someone else's version of Batman. Ben Affleck was Zack Snyder's version, and then Michael Keaton was Tim Burton's version, and he was trying to be faithful as much as possible to those versions. If Andy Muschietti is given his own proper version to play with and mess with in Brave and the Bold, I think he could come out with something really fun. And as much as I liked him as a horror director, I think he has a real good eye for directing comic book movies. And I want to emphasize the comic book part of that. Because as much as I love my Matt Reeves, my Christopher Nolan Dark Knight type of Batman movies, it feels like Andy Muschietti would lean into the comic book side of Batman, bust out his gadgets, his supernatural villains out there, and just have a lot of fun with the world. But again, that's just kind of my opinion. For those of you still waiting to watch The Flash, but you've seen the trailers and saw what he did with Ben Affleck and a little bit of Michael Keaton, would you want this man directing his own Batman movie with a Robin featuring Damian Wayne? Moving on here, let's take a look at some of our first photos and set videos of the set of Welcome to Derry. Now, this is the Pennywise prequel that'll be premiering on Max. I'm actually kind of surprised that we even have set photos and videos right now of this show taking place, because I thought with the writer's strike, they might have paused things or just postponed some stuff, but it looks like they got far enough in the writing writing process where they're happy with what they got and are going to be starting filming. Now, a lot of these photos are of what Derry is looking like in 1960, which is where the show is taking place. In fact, I'm going to reread the current plot synopsis we have for the show while I keep showing you some of these photos and videos. The current plot we have here is set in the 1960s. 4 kids in a town bordering an Air Force base with a mysterious special projects bunker search for a friend of theirs who disappeared mysteriously. And that'll be the premise of this Pennywise prequel here. I'm thinking most likely the Air Force base might have gotten their hands on Pennywise themselves, or at least are on the alert for Pennywise and trying to take him down, or whatever the case may be. We do have set photos of a lot of missing children's posters. So in Derry, kids are going missing, and that's most likely because of Pennywise. I'm really excited for all this, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think of this plot and these set photos and videos of Welcome to Derry? Moving on from here, we have to talk about the dreaded Fantastic Four casting rumors. It never ends, but it might finally end here. It looks like we have come to an agreement on the internet with different scoopers online all coming to the final 4 casting. So again, take these with a grain of salt because nothing's official until, I'm saying, like San Diego Comic-Con, I think is when Kevin Feige is going to get on that stage and reveal the upcoming Fantastic Four cast. But right now, all the scoopers seem to agree on these 4 people, so this might end up being the actual cast. And it looks like it could be Adam Driver as Reed Richards, Margot Robbie as Sue Storm, Paul Mescal as Johnny Storm, and Daveed Diggs as Ben Grimm. Alright, looking at this cast, I'm going to tell you right now, I freaking love it, man. I think this is an awesome cast for the Fantastic Four. Some people might not absolutely love it, but standouts to me, Adam Driver, Margot Robbie, I think are exceptionally well casted. Are you kidding me? Margot Robbie and Sue Storm? Yes, please. Adam Driver might be getting some hate or whatnot, especially from the Star Wars side of things. He was my favorite character in the new Star Wars. I think he's a great actor, so I'm actually excited to see him as Reed Richards if that goes down. The ones that I'm like, okay, I gotta see their take on it here is one, Paul Mescal, which I have seen him in a few projects, but all the projects I've seen this actor in, he's very serious. They're very dramatic roles, and I think of Johnny Storm as someone, you know, kind of bubbly, a little bit like what Chris Evans brought to Johnny Storm in those older Fantastic Four movies. I want someone joking and lighthearted and not taking himself too seriously. He's kind of a teenager, although he won't be a teenager for this version if this is true. So I'm gonna have to wait and see his take on that because I've only seen this actor do dramatic roles, but if this is a dramatic take on Johnny, I don't think I'm gonna be that happy with it. Daveed Diggs, I mean, I feel like that'll be fine. We'll see him on screen for like, what, 10 minutes before he gets rocked out. He's done a lot of voice work, even for Disney. I think he was even Sebastian the Crab, which I hope that's not what the thing is going to be sounding like. But clearly they're a voice performer here, so they'll be able to do something because he'll be mostly in motion capture stuff as they give us a CGI the thing. So honestly, I'd be very happy with this cast. To me, it's just like, announce it already. I'm tired of this. I'm falling in love with these 4 right here. And then it's going to be so hilarious in a couple months. Kevin Feige's like, nope, it's this, this, and this. And one of them is Tom Holland. Do it. Do it. Make him part of the Fantastic Four. Hopefully they pull it off, but right now I'm happy with this. I'd really like this to be the cast. Let's just make it official now. Come on. You guys hear this is the current casting choices for the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. You like it? Or are you against it? But that is all movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of my day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.